How's it going, boys? Today we have some absolutely giant news. This will affect the future of Magic, Magic the Gathering Arena, D&D, Hasbro, WotC, everything. This is an actual game changer, and I'm going to explain as we go.
So while I was on vacation, news broke that D&D executive producer Kyle Brink is out at D&D. One source tells me he was fired months ago. There's no speculation as to why. Maybe they don't feel D&D needs an executive producer because the latest edition is done and it's going to be released at Gen Con. Maybe it was because they were unhappy with the interviews he did in the wake of the OGL scandal, where his job was to smooth things over. And I'm not going to
No, the problem obviously here is that the trajectory that WotC, Hasbro, Wizards of the Coast, every single thing is going is absolutely horrible. Their leadership is absolutely incompetent to the maximum. If you do not know, previously one of their head honchos at the company was a woman who previously sold Marlboro cigarettes. She didn't even not know what gaming is. And that was one of the leadership positions that actually impacted my future, your future, and the game's future, which is insanity. And now, it's over. And it's over in the most insane way possible, because if you do not know the history of this, and I do, it gets wild. It gets wild.
get into the details of what he said, but I don't think he was entirely successful. In other news, John Haidt, formerly of Blizzard Entertainment and World of Warcraft, is the new president of Wizards of the Coast. Let's get into it. Hasbro Incorporated, a leading toy and game company, announced today the appointment of two leaders to its executive leadership team. John Haidt will join as president of Wizards of the Coast and Digital.
So this is absolutely monumental, because before this guy, there was not a single person at Wizards who even understood what a game is. I'm not over-exaggerating, by the way. Wizards leadership, the ones that actually choose things for Magic the Gathering, and that the people who really make the decisions about what needs to be done and whatnot, has been atrocious, to say the absolute minimum. Their smartest choice for especially Magic the Gathering Arena was to view bot Twitch when the tournament came out to try and get people interested in the game, and that's pretty much where the buck stopped. Now, if this was any other company than Wizards, this is where the crazy part actually begins. If this was any other company than Wizards of the Coast, I would be laughing my ass off, because this is the most horrible decision, only after Cynthia Phillips Forrest Marlboro chick. Yeah. It is only a second worst decision to that. Because you need to understand, if you do not know World of Warcraft's history and who that guy is, he's one of the head people who made World of Warcraft what it is today. AKA, if you keep up with my second channel, you probably know what's happening. If you don't, let me explain. That guy is one of the leading reasons World of Warcraft subscribership dropped by roughly 50% in a couple of years because of absolute horrible decision making on the leadership's part, execution by the team, and overall absolutely everything. If Season of Discovery and World of Warcraft Classic did not happen, this guy would probably be one of the main people to blame why Blizzard Entertainment World of Warcraft has completely collapsed. And now this guy, who literally made 4 complete shit tier expansions in a row for World of Warcraft and almost brought it to the brink of extinction, is gonna choose what happens in a arena. Again, if this was any other company than Wizards of the Coast, I would be laughing, because this is the most horrible decision anyone could ever make. A complete incompetent buffoon would be in charge of Wizards of the Coast. But for Wizards of the Coast, I mean, this is just another Monday, Sunday, Tuesday, and whatever. Okay? They have not had competent leadership in years. And the fact that this guy, at the bare minimum, understands and knows what a game is, what a computer game is honestly the best upgrade we could ever get. Because the second consideration after this guy was probably someone who worked at Coca-Cola and literally is still using a flip phone. Okay, that was probably the second choice. So we better be happy that this incompetent buffoon is now going to lead Wizards of the Coast, because he is better than honestly what we deserve. And considering he is interested in all of these things, he actually has a chance to fix up Magic the Gathering Arena, which I am very interested in, because this is going to be one of the things he actually does. I don't know if he discusses it here in this video, but that's going to be one of the things he actually looks into, or he's supposed to actually look into and make better. Because if you have been playing Arena, and you probably have not, judging from the comments that I get from my videos, because most of you are absolutely done with Wizards and how crap that game is, yeah. Hopefully it gets better. Hopefully. I would like that.
Gaming, and Holly Barbacovi will take on the role of Chief People Officer. John previously served as Senior Vice President and General Manager of the Warcraft franchise at Blizzard Entertainment, overseeing all development and commercial activities for World of Warcraft, Hearthstone, and Warcraft Rumble. During his 12
Warcraft Rumble, I don't know what happened with that. Hearthstone, you're a Magic the Gathering Arena player, so I assume you know what's happening with that. So, probably nothing's honestly going to change for Magic the Gathering Arena. Maybe the packs are going to become more fair and less expensive, though, hopefully. And World of Warcraft, again, what I mentioned. 4 expansions that completely destroyed the game. Dragonflight now is an expansion that people are saying, yeah, it's kind of good. But yeah, the damage has been done. Congratulations. Keep up the good work, I guess. Now with Wizards.
Your tenure at Blizzard, John directed development efforts for multiple World of Warcraft expansions, Diablo 3, Reaper of Souls, and Diablo 3 on console. He will lead strategy for Magic the Gathering and Dungeons & Dragons while driving continued global growth for the division and uncovering new storytelling tabletop.
Yeah, you see, this is the part that actually interests us. And again, as horrible as this guy's track record is, the reality also is the fact that he is probably, unironically, the best fit that Hasbro could ever hire. I told you this is wild. I told you this is stupid. Would I ever lie to you? Obviously not.
And digital experiences. I admire John's career focus on fostering community. He is a true embodiment of our mission to bring people together through play, said Chris Cox.
Oh,
John's
boy.
love of D&D and Magic the Gathering, combined with his leadership in video games, will be crucial as we expand our digital offerings to deliver what fans crave. So my analysis. This is what...
Again, at least he knows what a video game is, unlike the previous people running the show. At the bare minimum, again, this is a complete win for Arena, because currently what do we have? We have Wizards failing at the most fundamental levels possible. They make a battle pass, and that battle pass is not bought by anyone, at least with a functioning brain and frontal lobe cortex. No one buys it, because it's shit. What does Wizards do? Do they improve the quality of the battle pass? Do they add something that people actually would want in the battle pass? No. They add a second battle pass with even less value for buck. It is crazy. Hopefully this guy fixes that. Hopefully this guy... But he's from Blizzard. He must understand that the primary problem with Magic the Gathering Arena is that people are leaving and abandoning the game, not the monetization itself. And even if he, doesn't care about that, at least I think he's going to improve the monetization. At least there's going to be stuff that you actually want to pay money for, because at least it has value, maybe.
What I've been saying for years. This is what Cynthia Williams said. The future of D&D is digital. They come right out and say it. Quote,
I mean, he's not wrong. I know a lot of people are actually pissed hearing this, but it's true. Cardboard Magic is just a collector and investor item at this point. People don't really play Magic that often in the real life as people, Some do, and that's very cool. I honestly like that. I personally think it's cool. But The reality is it's a niche. Even if a lot of people are watching this and saying, oh, I play Magic the Gathering cardboard style. Yeah, I do. Yeah, and same here. What the hell? You're still a minority. The reality is you are still a minority.
We want to increase digital offerings. The 2024 edition is all about onboarding for the VTT. And the final stage in evolution is probably a mobile app called D&D Go. Like, it is inevitable. They've been trying this all the way back since the 4th edition. That edition was modeled on World of Warcraft. The concept of roles like Striker, Defender, and Leader, and concepts like healing surges were borrowed directly from Warcraft. At the time, Wizards thought that's where the kids are going, that's where the future is. And 4th edition was supposed to be accompanied by a VTT, and it never happened. But that's not going to stop Wizards of the Coast from trying, and now they have tapped Warcraft's chief architect to head up Dungeons & Dragons and Magic the Gathering.
Now, to be fair, again, for Magic the Gathering, I think this is good. Because Hearthstone is still the #1 TCG in the world that people try to actually look up to and blah, 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 all of those things. I know Magic players don't want to hear it, but it's true. Hearthstone is still the leading TCG game in the world. And everyone wants to aspire to be like Hearthstone, make as much money as Hearthstone, have enough players as Hearthstone, and so on. And I think because that guy can just literally carbon copy what Hearthstone has done to a severe degree in sense of monetization and keeping players engaged and keeping players playing, is going to be great. At the bare minimum, he's most likely going to look and see that, wait a minute, what the hell is this exactly 50% win rate garbage you're using? Yeah, Hearthstone also rigs the matchmaking, but it just gives more unfavorable matches to you if you're winning too hard, or if you're losing too hard, you get a more favorable match. But they don't rig literally your whole hand of cards. I hope he just looks at Arena and says, holy, how have you even survived this long, honestly? And then he's going to make it better. But for D&D, I'm not going to lie, I think you're cooked. I'm not gonna lie, for D&D, I think you're absolutely cooked. That guy almost destroyed World of Warcraft. Good luck. Good luck, D&D. You're gonna need it.
Gathering. It's no surprise. It's so transparent, and you can't really blame them because a CEO has a fiduciary responsibility to the shareholders to maximize their value. So they're going to exploit.
Anyone who says CEOs have a fiduciary responsibility to shareholders to maximize profits has not actually seen how this works in real life. Yeah, they have a duty to do that. But there's literally 50 ways until sundown to get past that and do whatever the hell you please.
There.
Because you see, the problem with fiduciary duty is the fact that even if the CEO literally takes the company on the verge of bankruptcy, he still needs to be sued by the shareholders, and the shareholders need to prove intentional malice. And it's really hard in this situation.
IPs in every way they can. Chris Cox is on a mission to turn D&D into a billion-dollar brand. Currently, D&D brings in about $200-300 million a year. He wants to make billions of dollars. And that means the future of D&D is digital. Don't believe me? Take a look at this from D&D Beyond. Exclusive pre-order bonus for the new Player's Handbook. You can get the digital-only version, the digital and physical bundle, and save $20, or get the...
By the way, I don't understand why D&D players in particular are so up in arms and against this stuff going digital. Because imagine how cool... I would play D&D. I have never played D&D in my life. I kind of want to, but it's... You need to go out, see real people, you all need to get the time, blah, blah, blah. But imagine you can just have, like, you know, some kind of already pre-made stuff where you can create the layout, create the story, and all these tools are given to you online. And everything is just made easy to do. Roles are made easy automatically, you know, you pay... It would be so good. It would be so insanely good. I would play D&D if this was a thing. So why D&D players are absolutely up in arms about this? Don't know. and don't even understand, honestly. I think this is a great thing to happen because you're still going to be able to play physically with people if you want. I think this is just a great supplement, technically.
The 3 core rule books and save $60. All options grant you 2 weeks early access to the rules. At the top tier, you get an exclusive Gold Dragon Mini for the upcoming VTT. Why would they do that? Because they want to sell you virtual minis. Welcome to the brave new world of subscription skins and loot boxes, and you won't own any of it.
You can tell he's old just from that he thinks that this is new. No, this is probably new if you're a literal boomer who only plays D&D. This has been bread and butter for us gamers for the past 10 plus years.
Characters, your DM notes, your dungeons are going to be on the cloud, and you're going to pay a monthly subscription fee to access them. And whenever I say this, people hit me up in the comments, oh, you're lying, you're still going to have a physical book. For now, you're going to have a physical book. But mark my words,
the physical book is going to always exist. They can print on demand. This is not a problem. It's just like a money supplementary thing. Like, Jesus Christ, you know, the Xbox 360 game store only just recently closed down. Imagine how... And they kept it around. Why? Because it was profitable. And now they're thinking, okay, now it's not worth the money, the effort, we're going to shut it down. And handmade D&D books are... Not handmade, but, you know, real life rule books for D&D are gonna be, you know, a thing probably 100 years in the future if you last that long.
In 2 years, Dungeons & Dragons will not be on the shelves of any major book retailer like Barnes & Noble. It's all going to be done in-house through D&D Beyond. They are all in on digital. Why? Because they know that's the way kids consume media. I have a 20-year-old son who plays D&D.
Again, that's not even the way that kids consume media. It's just simply easier.
He plays every once in a while. But when I was his age, I was organizing a game at least once a week. That's not how he interacts with his friends. It's all on the computer. When I was his age, I went to Gen Con, Mecca Convention Center, Milwaukee, 1990. And I remember seeing a lot of people my age. And whenever I go to these conventions, I see everyone is still my age. I don't see a lot of young...
Yeah, because everything's now online, which is not a good thing in my opinion, but you get the point. It's still easier, and that's why they're gonna switch.
Younger players playing D&D at conventions. Back in the day, you had to go to conventions because there was no internet. It was the only place you could meet other D&D enthusiasts. But now, you can meet them online. That's the VTT audience. Another concept I want to touch on is that of community, because Chris Cox used those words in his greetings. They use community a lot in terms of role-playing games. It's not a hobby. They're always saying it's the D&D community. I've heard other...
The last time World of Warcraft cared about the community was disabling the spit emote because people were constantly just target spitting on people who bought the newest microtransaction. They literally removed /spit targeting from World of Warcraft because people are spitting on microtransaction buyers, as you should, by the way. Fully 100% endorsing that.
Other YouTubers claim that this is some sort of communist Marxist plot to push some...
A lot of things are, not gonna lie.
Woke agenda. But believe...
A lot of things are. Wait, what do you mean some woke agenda? Okay, listen. When you have Blacklock, the CEO of Blackrock literally coming out and saying, oh yeah, we're going to incentivize woke crap in your games, even if you don't want to, well, tough luck, because we're going to do it. When news literally hits that there is an actually Illuminati type of cabal that wants to make the world like that, and I mean, no one longer bats an eye. This is not some maybe woke stuff. There's definitely woke stuff.
Community is a common advertising tactic, and it is very capitalist. Traditional advertising relies on digital radio, print, and television ads to raise awareness about a product. But certain products are lifestyle brands like Harley.
That's not what makes it woke, boomer. Okay, listen, you don't understand the current age, the current life, the current everything. Being digital doesn't mean it's woke. What's inside of it is woke.
Davidson, Apple, or D&D. The concept is these companies don't have to spend a lot on advertising because the community will advertise the product to each other. And it's largely driven
That's a provenly false premise for a lot of things.
by FOMO, the fear of missing out. That's why you get things like early access. You could be the first to say, I'm playing with these new rules and they are great, and you're missing out if you're not playing with them. I have to upgrade my...
FOMO works. A lot of companies implement FOMO. Again, we have talked about all of this in my second channel, by the way, if you're not aware, so, just FYI. If you're interested in this stuff, this is what we talk about there. And a lot of other crazy fun stuff. Mostly about how gaming's woke crap and it's hilarious. It is what it is, boys. Let's go. Anyway, these rule sets don't actually work on FOMO. This crap is not going to work on FOMO. This works on hype, okay? Not that many people are actually, oh my god, I'm not going to get the mini dragon. No, most people have enough brain matter to understand that they don't care about the mini dragon. The mini dragon doesn't matter. If you like the mini dragon, though, that's you, and that's not exactly bad. But most people are looking at, oh, for the gold version, I get a golden dragon. That's not, I don't want that. If you like that, that's fine, by the way. But most people don't care about that. The reason why these things work in gaming is because you get to play the game 1 week earlier, 3 days earlier, or something like that. And if there's a lot of super hype around this and all your friends have bought it, you're probably also buying it. It is literally peer pressure and hype that forces you to buy stuff like this. FOMO works in microtransactions in the store when it says, better buy it, it's 800% value, it's gonna be gone in 15 seconds. Oh, didn't click on it. Well, here's 1 extra minute to make your purchase. That's FOMO. This is not FOMO.
You could be the first to say, I'm playing with these new rules and they are great, and you're missing out if you're not playing with them. I have to upgrade my iPhone every couple of years because the old one will stop working. But older editions of Dungeons & Dragons work perfectly well. So,
I mean, that's your own fault for buying an iPhone. Where's my trusted phone? It's there, charging on the bed. I have had that thing for 10 years plus, I think, at this point. At least, no, 6 years for now. And well, it's almost broken, but I'm still going to use it. I'm not buying an iPhone.
Some even consider them superior to their modern counterparts. So how do they get people to upgrade something that doesn't need to be upgraded? They have to create
intended obsolescence. No, wait, that's not the word. Forced obsolescence? Something, you know what I'm talking about. You're smart people.
The idea that you're missing out on the fun, that everyone else is creating builds and has access to new options that you don't have access to. Need to create...
Well, no, it's literally forced obsolescence for phones. This is different, my dude.
Hype. That's why they reach out to YouTube creators and give them advanced copies of the book so they could do videos about all the different new options and classes and subclasses. At Gen Con,
again, not really FOMO. For example, in Magic, this is not FOMO because a lot of creators, except me, because Wizards loves me so dearly, get early access, not early access, I don't even know what they're called, exclusive builds or whatever, where they can play with the new decks a couple of days early. This is not FOMO. This is just to create hype for the thing that you're about to play, and look at how cool this is. Don't you want to play it? It's not missing out. No one's missing out on anything, but people want to play it even more. And that creates a crowd effect, essentially.
They're selling 3,000 advanced copies of the Player's Handbook. They could sell more. They're creating scarcity, which creates hype. Now, is this bad? Not if you're a shareholder. John Haidt is the top guy. He turned Warcraft into a multi-billion-dollar company. Not if you like...
No, he kind of almost destroyed Warcraft. That's the hilarious part here. Again, all this video is based upon the fact that this guy would be an absolute hilariously bad choice for a CEO almost for any other company. But considering how bad Wizards are, I mean, he's the golden goose.
like combat. I played the VTT with lead designer Cale Stutzman and Wizards VP of Digital Chris Kao. And it's great if you like combat, building characters, building environments, but it's not so great if you're really into role play. You don't need a virtual tabletop or any terrain to role play a character. It's also bad if you like playing other games, like if you want to say...
I mean, this is true, but let's not be, let's not kid ourselves, okay? Obviously, any kind of exemplar for terrain would be great. Any kind of additive would be good. He is effectively currently just saying the famous words. I forgot who it was, but it was TV without sound when that was a thing, because TV did not have sound all the time, okay? Sound was invented in general, like color, in like some kind of year, 100 years before this. Before that, we lived without sound and color. It is what it is, boys. But there was this, well, it's an infamous quote at this point, that who the hell would want sound on their television? Yeah, someone unironically said this, and he's effectively kind of repeating that. Who would want to actually see the battlefield in their fantasy game or whatever? Who would want that? Everyone would want that. Literally almost everyone would want that.
Say, hey, I'm tired of D&D. Why don't we try out Crown and Skull? Your players may respond with, I don't want to play anything but D&D. That's what the corporation wants. The purpose of the community is to make sure no one leaves the community. It's like that island on The Prisoner. They want to make sure that you're in a silo, that you're on an island, and you only play their game. And
companies have understood at this point that that is impossible. This is why seasonal ladders exist for things like Path of Exile, Diablo 4, and Last Epoch. This is why a lot of games have seasons intentionally, because every game, these games have understood for years now the concept that the island thing is impossible almost. People are gonna leave even if your game is amazing. It doesn't matter if your game is the literal hottest shit on the market. There's going to be people who play a week or two and they get tired of it, not because it's bad, not because of any bad reason, but just because of the simple fact they're tired of playing the same game for 2 weeks. Companies understand this island principle. I don't think Wizards of the Coast is going to make you only try and play Wizards of the Coast stuff. They're just going to do periodical updates to renew people's interests in the game. And a great example of this being true is Fortnite. Fortnite is technically it's Roblox, the biggest game in the world currently. But Fortnite is still one of the biggest things, and it was the biggest thing for a very long time on the internet. Everything was Fortnite. And yet, somehow, they actually implemented this crazy concept of seasons, events, and all of this stuff. Why? To renew interest. Because even if you are the biggest, people are just going to get tired and play something else. And this is most likely what D&D is going to understand. That they can't just put people on an island where the only choice is D&D.
And it's also bad for people like me that think tabletop games are a way of getting away from electronics. I'm perplexed as to why anyone would need a phone or a mobile app to store their character or to create.
I'm perplexed. My phone is 5 times worse than his.
Create a character. That's just so weird to me. When I play D&D, there are no electronics at the table. Everyone turns their cell phones off. We don't even play with the rules, so we can't stop to look them up. I'll just make decisions and we'll move forward. That's not what a major corporation is going to want. They want you dependent on this phone so that they can keep that subscription going. For me, tabletop games are a form of communion. It's
I guess I'll take it.
Spiritual experience. I've got a daughter who lives in Dublin, a son who lives in...
Sad. Dublin. Sad. England. Sad.
South Korea. I could FaceTime them, but that's not the same as holding them in my arms. It's not the same as being with them. And to me, that's what...
Also, living anywhere else but Best Korea, A little bit disappointing, but okay.
Role-playing games are about. Personally, I'm neutral on the whole thing. I think corporations do what corporations do. At Gen Con, there's going to be a bunch of panels about the future of D&D. I don't plan to go to any of them. I'm way more interested in what a designer like
Wait, did I get a cool sponsorship and then just completely ghost him, or didn't I? Cool sponsored me, like, god damn it, I want money. I'll literally shill anything you throw at me, just give me money. Anyway, I think that's pretty much for this. Again, kind of looking forward to this, even though the situation is completely, absolutely out of this world insane. Anyway, that was Dungeon Craft. Then, wait, was this main channel Dungeon Craft? Yeah, it was. Okay. Anyway, bye-bye.